Hi folks, and Happy New Year. Now it's time to start my 2014 vegetable garden. I'm going to start that with onions. I'm just going to start for now with this particular variety of onion. Let's see if you can see that. With this variety onion, and these are called Walla Walla onions. These originate in the Washington State area, the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. They're fairly big onions. I can show you a picture. You can't really tell by the picture the scale, but they're fairly big onions. Sort of like they're sweet onions, sort of like Vidalias from Georgia in the U.S. Yeah, so I want to grow those. I've seen pictures of very huge ones, really interesting looking stalk on them. So I'm going to get an early start and try to grow them. Some people, they grow them, they'll start planting them late summer to harvest the next late spring. I wish I could have done that. I just haven't got my hands on some seeds until just now actually. I just got these in the mail yesterday. So I'm going to try growing these and see how they do. I've grown onions before. I did that last year. I grew Hishiko, Japanese onions. They went really well, very easy to grow. So, I'll see how these go. This is a different type of onion than the Hishiko. They're more like bunching onions, the kind you just put in salad, like chives. And these are, the much bigger sweet onions. So, I'm going to bring you guys closer and show you how I'm doing it. So here's where I'm starting the beginning parts of my seeds in. Right now, since these are the first things I'm growing, I'm just going to start with these two sets of cells. These are called 6-packs because obviously they have 6 cells in each. I'm using these because I'm going to plant multiple onion seeds into each, and I want to grow probably 6 in each cell, or even start with more than that, and then I'll thin them out and take the best ones, and then I'll plant them somewhere else and grow them. Growing these is going to be a multi-stage replanting endeavor. So, I'll just keep planting them to a bigger medium until they're ready to go into the ground. So I'm not sure how many times that'll be, but we'll see what happens with that. Now this is organic potting soil, or potting mix I should say. There is a difference. Potting mix is what you should use. I always use the organic now. I have in the past sometimes just used whatever was off the shelf, and this is definitely much better. I find much easier to control the moisture. It doesn't get too wet, and it also drains well. So I've had good success with organic potting mix. So here's the seeds. I'm just gonna take some here, give you a look at what they look like. This is probably, I don't know, maybe 30 seeds. They're not very big. They look like little pieces of charcoal dust almost. Okay, I kind of forgot to use something to move the soil around. I'm just using my old trusty pocket knife. I'm just moving aside the soil to one side of the cell so I can stick the onion seeds in. Okay. So I'm not going to be too scientific about this. I'm just going to maybe put, I don't know, 6 or 8 or 10 in a cell. You get a lot in a pack, so, and it only costs me, how much? $1.89 plus however much for shipping, because I can't find this kind of seed locally. You probably won't be able to either. So you'll probably have to go to the internet if you want to grow these too, unless you're lucky to live near a really good garden center that sells interesting seeds. So I'm not too worried if I use most of these up. Whatever I don't use, I'll just probably plant them later in the year like in the late summer, for an easier harvest next year, instead of having to start them inside. Now, starting inside is kind of fun, but I don't mind things I have outside, like asparagus and stuff like that, that I don't even have to bother with. They just come out of the ground. Same with garlic. Yeah, and as I thin these out, I'll probably even, if some of these cells aren't doing too well, I'll just move some of the onion seedlings from one cell to another. Sort of fill in the gaps. Yeah, they give you lots of seeds here, so you can see I have lots left. And I've already put probably something like 8 to 10 in each cell. Maybe more. Yeah, if you multiply it and I have, 8 to 10 in each cell, so that's times 12, I'm looking at over 100 different onion seedlings. So I think it'll be more than enough for me, especially with big onions like that. So I'm just using my finger to cover up the seeds, tamp down the loose soil just a little bit. Okay, I think those are buried well enough. Then what I like to do is just spray everything in. Now there's a reason I do this. If I just went ahead with this fairly dry soil, I mean, it's not completely dry, but it's enough that it could move around. If I just went and started, pouring stuff around like this, there's a good chance some of the soil could just go up and the seeds could just start dumping everywhere. This way, at least, I'm gradually moistening the tops of the soil. And I'm not losing any seeds. Letting the water soak in. And besides, I'm using this sort of system. I'm going to be essentially bottom watering these, which means I'm going to be, once I do have these watered from the top, I'm going to continue watering them from the bottom by just keeping the bottom of this tray to a certain water level. Not very high, just like maybe this high. And yeah, then they'll pull out water from the bottom. It's almost like self-watering. And the great thing about that, you can't really overwater, and as long as there's enough water coming off the bottom, it will, as they call wick, its way up, like a wick, and that'll keep as much as it needs to be moist. Also, I won't have as many problems with things like spider mites that love the top all moist. I shouldn't have that kind of problem. So now I've let this soak in for a few minutes, and I'm just going to continue watering the top just to get it a little bit moist throughout each cell. And then when that's done, I'll water the bottom tray, and then I'm done. I just got to wait till they pop up out of the ground and keep a decent amount of light on them. I have my grow light set up going already, and I just have a few small things growing there like goji berries and stuff. Yeah, and this will be joining that next, and then later I'll be filling in these with peppers and whatever else I decide to grow this year. So I'm just bottom watering my trays now. Just gonna fill it with water. I'll probably need to get a little more water, but that's fine. Yeah, and that's it. Now I'm ready to put it on my shelf and watch it grow. I hope everybody has a great New Year. Thanks for watching.